We will now move on to the topic, to the discussion, relating to that of understanding the nature of sojourners. Now, many of you have the certain forms of terms relating to people that you call starseeds, wanderers, wayshowers, lightworkers, and so forth. But the whole idea is that many of you cannot even agree what those mean. When you look at a starseed, what does that mean? Oh, it has something to do with being on another planet and doing similar work there and then being here. All right. What about a wanderer? Well, that's just about something similar. Wandering around and going to different worlds and helping out when you can. All right. What about a light worker? Just being able to share your light with the world. All right. What about a wayshower? Just being able to identify the path and showing it to others. These are very, very vague terms. You don't even really have a clear definition to any of those terms at all. This is why we say, rather than looking at a starseed, a wayshower, a wanderer, a light worker, a rainbow child, a crystal child, etc., how about you look into something that has a lot more depth? And is something that even your Edgar Casey spoke about, that we are in complete agreement with, and that we use as well. Rather than the starseed, the wanderer, the light worker, the wayshower, the crystal child, the indigo children, the sojourner. What does that mean? A sojourner is a librarian of the cosmos. What they do is they go to different realms and they leave a facet of themselves on every realm that they come into. With every planet, with every world that they explore, they leave a piece of themselves there. They have received knowledge and they give something back to that realm, to that dimension, to that plane, because they have received information from the living library of that realm, to help with their involution and to help with their evolution. Therefore, a sojourner will explore different realms, leaving facets of themselves behind because they have gained the integrity of vast experience to help mold their soul into understanding what harmony truly is. That is why a sojourner is a cosmic librarian that works through involution and evolution. Which means there are those of you that are here who are simply here for your own involution journeys, where you are looking deeper into yourself, where you are going into introspection to evolve. And then there are those of you who are going into evolutionary journeys here upon the earth, where you have gained everything that you need, and now it's just a matter of spreading your wings and flying, expanding yourself more, inspiring others, helping them to find their wings. That's the involution, that's the evolution of a sojourner. A sojourner will explore thousands of different realms. They will explore thousands of different worlds, thousands of different dimensions. And every single one that they explore, they leave a seed. They leave a facet of themselves buried in the sands, letting it grow. Because every single one of you have done this. This is not to say that some of you are sojourners and some of you are not. You're not like that. Everyone's a sojourner. And to understand the nature of a sojourner is to realize what life has given you and what you're giving to life in return. Just as we talked about the nature of you giving thanks to the earth once a day, every day, throughout your summer period. That's what you're doing in a lifetime on this planet. You're leaving a seed, not a star seed, a soul seed. As you sojourn, as you go to different planets, because many of you have been to the planets in the star system. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, etc. And you've left your mark there. You've left your seed. You have donated and contributed to the living library of that realm. Because a planet really is just a realm. You can call it a planet, but you still don't even really know what a planet is. You're looking at it physically. That's not what it is. It represents a domain of library that is linked together with the cosmos, which means every single planet associates with every other one because it's part of a network. It is a ley line crossing where you have all these other planets responding themselves through the natural living life force that they have together with each other. And they share ideas. And they share experiences with one another. It's a network. It's a web. It's a hive. That's the nature when you look at quote-unquote outer space. You don't actually realize that you're actually looking at a honeycomb. Because that's what space, as you would say, is made up of in that way. It is fractals of honeycomb geometry. Pockets that are all around you right now that you do not see. And the planet Earth, in that example, is simply the nature of manifest pockets come together in physical form, representing a clustered Earth, otherwise known as an Earth made out of a honeycomb. Because it is looking at those 6 sides of the hexagon that represent the geometry and the formation pertaining to a world, but more than a world is a plane or realm. You see, again, you still don't really know what a planet is. Even when you look at the word planet, take out the T. It's a plane. It's a realm. It's a domain. Not a planet, but a plane. Even your Nikola Tesla knew this. That he would look at the idea of the world being a realm, a plane of consciousness, because that's what it represents. It's part of a hub. And as a sojourner, you're attempting to understand more of the facets pertaining to that hub. To actually go there and incarnate as a part of their life, their living forms, and contribute something to that world. Does not matter if you are incarnated as an ant or as a human being. You're leaving your mark. And a sojourner will always take those memories of every single realm that they have been a part of and work with it to serve their harmony. Earth is a realm. It's a plane. Mars is a realm. It's a plane. All of your planets here are a realm. It's a plane. Even your sun is a realm. It's a plane. It's part of a living hub network. It's a beehive. It's a honeycomb. It's all connected together through the web of interconnectedness of life. And you go upon these different planets, these different realms, these different planes, to understand more about that hub, to help you realize more about yourself as you go through involution and evolution. And you come to such worlds not because you feel like you want to free the populace. That's very romantic, but that's not why you're here. None of you are here for that reason. You are here to know about yourself and what needs to be freed from yourself, rather than thinking like you're some galactic messiah coming here to free all the people. You've been reading too many stories. You're here to free yourself. You're here to be a self-messiah. By looking at everything that this world tells you through the reflections that are coming through you, the cause and the effect. And a sojourner will look at that, regardless if they are on the path of involution or evolution, because involution and evolution all work together through specific cycles. One incarnation is an involution cycle. which is helping you to look much more deeper into the dirt and the grime and the filth that pertain to your hurt and your suffering and your pain and your dualism. Whereas the evolutionary path is now helping you to realize what you've gone through, and now you're healing it all together. You're bringing it out and you're expanding yourself further, and now you're being an example, not just for yourself, but to others. Not because you desire so much to make sure that they're perfect, but you're helping out their discovery of realizing that they have wings that can grow and can expand. You gladly share your expansion with others because you've been through lifetimes that involved great involution. So the involution is helping you to introspect. The great evolution is helping you to expand. It's contraction, it's expansion. It's contraction, it's expansion. Some lifetimes may involve a row of several involutionary encounters of incarnation. And again, the same thing goes with the evolution. Several different rows of evolutionary expansion of incarnation. That's a sojourner. So, therefore, looking at a sojourner upon this planet, knowing that you are a signal that is coming through this body that is aligned in a certain numerical pattern to help you move into the behavior that you need to move into to help you understand involution and or evolution based upon your premise of what you're here to do. Because you can have moments of involution and you can have moments of evolution. And that's how we see all of life. We do not see good and evil. We do not see light and dark. We do not see shadow and illumination. We see involution and evolution. Because that's all there is. That's it. When a person is acting out and they are violent and they are fighting, they're still coming to terms with their own involution. They haven't even discovered it yet. They haven't even discovered, quote unquote, what makes them tick. When a person in that sense is going through their own evolutionary struggles, they feel like they're a messiah. They need to help everybody else. They need to feel like they go into these extremes and feel like everybody else needs to be like them. And that's a taintedness of evolution. So there's involution and there's evolution. That's the nature of the sojourner. The sojourner that, again, travels from different realms to understand the hub network of how things are, to broaden yourself as a living God, to realize who and what you are. And it will, of course, be many, many realms that you will encounter. Different worlds, different realms, different planes of existence, to helping you understand your involutionary and evolutionary nature so that they can balance each other, not skew one another. Because some of you are quite skewed. And you need to bring your involutionary and evolutionary qualities together and unify them. Like conjugates that are coming together, snapping together, and even though they are opposites, when they are together, they have one another in wholeness, in union. And involution and evolution is no more different than a masculine and a feminine. Bringing themselves together in union, in harmony, rather than feeling skewed and having gender wars. Because that's where ignorance takes over. And you lack the nature of involution and evolution when you get to that particular point. Please be aware of this. We are simply describing the nature of yourself as a sojourner, as an involver and an evolver. Be mindful of this. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, and we will now conclude and return to the conduit. Goodbye for now.